Hi Queens, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Eva. I'm a mom of two little children. One is 2.5 years old. He will be 3 in September, and the second one is 10 months old. Will be 1 very soon. And yeah, welcome to my channel. I mainly talk about postpartum related topics, postpartum fitness, motherhood and things like that. But for today, I want to focus on the topic of postpartum depression. What is it? What are the causes? How this affects a mom, even a dad experience this as well, and I'm gonna talk about that later. Yeah, and also things that you can do that can help you towards dealing with this issue in hand. So me personally, I experienced this after having 2 of my babies. With my first one, it started literally like the next day when I woke up. So I had a cesarean with my son, and I was passed out the whole of the next day. But after I woke up the second day, I was overwhelmed. I was feeling very detached. I was feeling so anxious. I was feeling a lot of emotions. I was lost, and I could remember crying for like 2 days. My husband, because he worked, he would come. I was in the hospital for like 11 days because of a complication with the pregnancy. But I remember my husband would come, look after me, go to work, and it was mainly the doctors that brought me a therapist and stuff like that to check on me. But it was really bad. It started really fast as well, and I didn't know what it was. But with my second, I was kind of a bit more familiar with it, and because the hospital and things like that, they knew my history with my first child. They already gave me a therapist already. So I had a therapist from second trimester of my second baby going forward, and luckily I had her after my delivery and for some time before she discharged me. So yeah, for my 2 babies, I experienced postpartum depression. So let's talk. First, I feel like, especially in my country with my people, this is like a topic hidden, a topic not spoken about as it should, and I feel like that is wrong. We are dealing with people's life, and specifically a mom have a lot to do, and a new mom that have a new responsibility of a child that is 100% dependent on them, needs all the care that is very important to her. And what is more important than a person's mental health, a person's feeling, a person's mindset? That is where we live here. That is where we live. So this is very, very important topic, and it should be spoken about. It should 100% be spoken about. Never feel like you need to keep quiet. Never feel like you have to hold it in. You don't. There is always somebody to talk to. And I wrote Mommy Brain. I wrote down some people you can speak to about this, so you have options, and you have options. So you can decide who is better suited for you to talk to about this. First I will start with what we call baby blue. So this is a bit different from depression. And normally after we have a baby, you might feel a lot of emotions, which is very understandable. This can start from 2 days, 3 days after you have your baby. You can feel anxious, you can feel excited, you can feel sad, detached. You will be feeling a lot like you just had a little baby, oh my god, and you can even be crying and stuff like that. I can find a list of symptoms of baby blue. So this is called baby blue, and it's, these symptoms, if it stays for around up to 2 weeks, and it will normally go away. So the symptoms of baby blue is mood swing, anxiety, sadness, irritability, feeling overwhelmed, crying, reduced concentration, appetite problem, trouble sleeping. All right, so after you have your baby, if you have this kind of symptoms, and you know it's normal, a lot of these things are normal, but it's not okay, of course. Always seek for help from your partner, from a friend. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, this baby blue kind of experience, it could last up to 2 weeks after you have your baby, and it will go away. But depression is when it continues more than 2 weeks. So you find that it's taking over. You find that you're having issue with dealing with normal daily routine, you know, taking care of the house, the tasks that you normally do fine. If you feel like you can't do them anymore, and your mood swing is still there after 2 weeks, I'm going to read all the list so you know. So this is depression. So if you find that you are finding it hard to handle your baby and to handle daily tasks that you normally do around the house, if you feel like your mood has been affected a lot, you can feel numb, you can feel severe mood swing, you know, from happy to really, really sad to cloudy, gray. Mine is lost. I felt lost, like disconnected, more like was mine. And mine, I did feel a lot of crying as well, especially in the morning, you know, because I don't know, just feeling detached, like, you know, what's the point? That was my feeling. What was the point? You know, you're not feeling the joy of having a baby, and you're just not feeling well, in general within you, and you know something is wrong. You will know something is wrong. So the list here is excessive crying, difficulty bonding with your baby. This is an important one I'll talk about a bit later. Withdrawing from family and friends. So if you find that, you know, you don't want to talk to your friends anymore, you find like you feel like you need to detach from your family, your spouse. And especially in my country, this is understandable, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this is a hidden topic, and you might find it hard to even open up to your spouse about it. I found it hard. And because I'm the kind of person that I always question why must I not talk about it, you know. That's me, that's my mindset. Why must I not talk about it? So eventually I forced myself to talk to my spouse about it, and yeah, he didn't really understand it, and you can't blame somebody that cannot understand, but he did listen. So the point is that I forced myself to do it, and that was really, really helpful for me. But if you find yourself, you know, detaching from your loved ones, that could be a sign of depression. If you have lots of appetite or eating much more than usual, with my son, with my first baby, I was skinny. Like, I had no appetite. Goodness, I was burnt. I had no appetite whatsoever. So if you're feeling like you have no appetite for eating, or you feel like you're eating way too much than you should, you know, it could be a sign. Inability to sleep, insomnia, sleeping too much as well. I was sleeping way too much. Feeling overwhelmed, fatigue or loss of energy, a reduced interest and pleasure in activities you used to enjoy, fear that you're not a good mother, hopelessness, feeling worthlessness, shame, guilt and inadequacy, diminished ability to think clearly, concentrate or make decisions, restlessness, severe anxiety and panic attack, thought of harming yourself or your baby, a recurrent thought of death or suicide. All right, so these are a list. Of course, it doesn't exhaust. Everybody is different, but these are a list of things that are signs that somebody have depression. And like I said, this can happen from before you have your baby, to when you have your baby, to after you have your baby. And like I said, with my second baby, I started from second trimester, ending up my second trimester. I had it until after I had my baby for a long time. And I'll talk about how I came out of it later. Alright, so if you are feeling any of these, just know you are not alone. A lot of moms experience postpartum depression. People talk about it, and unfortunately a lot of moms feels like they cannot talk about it, and I do understand. And I'm telling you, you do not have to keep quiet at all. And this, if it's not treated, it can get worse. Honestly, it can get worse. It doesn't help to keep it locked in. And you know, the most important thing for a mom and for a baby is to connect and to feel that connection to your baby. So if we keep this untreated, also it affects that bond with your baby, which is not good at all. I wanted to talk about how to, you know, kind of who you can talk to about this, but I think let me just give a list also of severe depression. So depression is different, but then there are some people that go ahead to experience this in a much more severe level, and it is called postpartum psychosis. I'm going to list to you the list of symptoms attached to postpartum psychosis. So the list is confusion and disorientation, obsessive thoughts about your baby, a hallucination and disillusions, sleep disturbance, excessive energy or agitation, paranoia, attempt to harm yourself or your baby. So postpartum psychosis may lead to life-threatening thoughts or behavior and requires immediate treatment. So, the first less severe one is baby blue. It stops at 2 weeks. After around 2 weeks after you have your baby, these symptoms goes away. And if these symptoms continues and you're also experiencing that you're finding it hard to, you know, deal with daily tasks, to connect with your babies, these could be signs of depression. And then there are people that feel very severe depression that goes towards the severe end of the spectrum, which is called postpartum psychosis. And this normally starts after you have your baby, because it's literally connected to the change in hormones in the body, estrogen, that may be drastically decreased after you have your baby. So so that is just a list of the symptoms. Yeah, and I also wanted to talk about the fact that this can happen to fathers as well. So the same way depression affects the mom, it could also affect the dad as well. So they might be feeling very tired, fatigued. They might be feeling very anxious. They might feel it's hard for them to connect with your baby as well. So just the same way it affects a mom, this could also affect the dad. And yeah, if you're a dad and you are dealing with this kind of emotions that are mentioned relating to depression, yes, that is a potential, that is possibly depression, and you should definitely speak to somebody about it. It is something manageable. A lot of moms go through it and then they get better, and then, you know, they continue bonding with their baby and life goes on. But there are signs that, you know, will suggest it's a good idea to speak to somebody, to speak to a health visitor. In the UK we call them health visitor, to speak to your GP, your doctor, to go to hospital. And one of the main thing is if it's affecting your everyday life. So if you feel like you can no longer do the things you're doing. Mine was, the house was a mess. The house was a mess and I couldn't bring myself to come out of bed and attend to the mess. So with that, I'm feeling even worse, because now I know my house is a mess and I am not attending to the mess. So it's like a whole cycle going on there. If it's affecting your your ability to do your everyday tasks, yeah, definitely you should speak to a doctor. If you feel like it's getting worse, speak to a doctor. I'm gonna just list the other ones here. If it's making it hard for you to connect with your baby, that is a sign to speak to the doctor, because that is very important that you bond with your baby. And also, if you're having thoughts of harming yourself or harming your baby, that is very, very important that you talk to a doctor about that. Get a loved one to look after the baby, so that you get the help that you need. It's never like, I feel like when somebody is hurt physically, you have a wound in your hand, you fell, you trip, you hurt your leg, or you have a migraine, things like that, we go to doctors, we ask for help. But then the most important thing I feel like is the mental space of a human. You are here, like, where else is a human, right? Me right here, I am in here in my mind, so this is a very important space and should be taken very seriously. So if you're feeling any of these, please reach out to a doctor, talk to a loved ones, anybody you're comfortable with speaking to, even your pastor, your reverend, or sister in the Lord, a brother in the Lord, anybody you feel will listen. If you want to speak to somebody you don't know, there is option for that as well. There is a national helpline. There's a Samaritan helpline as well. If you want to speak to somebody that is not on your immediate cycle, that is a good one. Or your doctor doesn't know you, like a it's a relative or something like that. So a doctor is a very good place to even start, honestly. Also, this can lead to really bad thoughts, like really severe thoughts and negative thoughts of harming yourself or harming your baby. And right here is where, honestly, this is a big red flag, and our life is very important. It's much more important than what people think about us, So if you can speak to a doctor, if you can speak to your health visitor, if you can speak to a friend that that is a good friend, if you can speak to your mom, your mother-in-law, your partner, bring yourself to speak to your partner. So at the moment, I'm from Nigeria and I'm in the UK. And what happens is it's kind of excluded. So it's just me, my partner, and my children. And with Corona happening, you can't really go out that much or connect with other people. So it's a kind of a situation where you're only with your partner and your family, like that. So if you can bring yourself to do it, it would be a good thing to speak to your partner. But if you can't, a doctor is good. Your health visitor, a pastor, like I said, a reverend father, somebody in your church would be good. Who else? So a suicidal helpline. So there's a national prevention lifeline. The number is here: 1-800-273-8255. Alright, so you can speak to them. If you want to speak to me, please speak to me. I know I'm nobody, you don't know me, but you can speak to me. And also, if you have a friend or somebody that just had a baby and you're noticing this kind of signs and symptoms that they might be feeling, please help them out. Listen, and it's very important to not be like, oh, okay, I hope they get better, and you leave them. If you can, please, it's very important that you help them get help. Ask them who can help. And if they do not feel comfortable talking to somebody around them, then a doctor, a GP, a medical, a health practitioner would be a good place to start, honestly. Alright, so now I want to, cover the causes of postpartum depression. A lot of the time, like I said, everybody is different and we are all different humans. So there is no one specific cause or something that you can pinpoint and say, oh, this is why this kind of thing happened. However, there is like a physical and the emotional aspect that could be the reason that you are experiencing postpartum depression. And when it comes to physical, one of the things is that after we have a baby, so when we are pregnant, a lot of estrogen and progesterone is very available in our body, and after we have a baby, this is gonna drop. So if there's a dramatic drop in these two hormones in the body, this could be one of the reasons that depression happens. So that is basically, contributing to the fact that hormones are one of the reasons depression happens. So a lot of the time, a mom, I understand this, can blame themselves for what they're feeling, but I promise you, it has nothing to do with you. It is not your fault. It is literally connected to the mere fact that you had a baby and the fact that the hormones in your body has changed. It changed really drastically. So it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your ability to take care of your child. It is not your fault whatsoever. It is not your fault. It is the mere fact that you had a baby. The chemicals and hormones balances in your body is what is causing this change in your mood. And then when it comes to emotional, so if you think about it, have a new baby, whole new responsibility that you might not know exactly how to react to this. You might feel overwhelmed. You might be feeling scared that you might not be able to take care of this tiny human, very sensitive human. You might be feeling lost, that your body have changed so much, or you've gained stretch marks maybe, or your tummy is very big, or you have a cesarean, a cut in your body. Okay, so you might not generally feel attractive, and that is understandable. That is normal. It is very normal to feel like you are not attractive. Okay, now it's a whole different thing for me to tell you, oh yes, you are attractive, you are beautiful, because I'll say it, you are beautiful. All of us, we are beautiful, okay? But your feelings and your emotions are very valid. It's very, accepted, and you are allowed to have a feeling about your body. So what I'm saying is that could be one of the reasons why, emotional impact that could lead to depression. So the other one is that you might be struggling with your identity. So now it's kind of like, your life revolves around this baby, so you might be having a hard time trying to understand, who are you again, who am I again, is it only that I'm a mom now, so you might be, the emotional part of this being like you might be struggling with who are you again, and the identity that you used to hold that's kind of changed at this moment. So this could be one of the things that lead to depression. I hope this was helpful. I wasn't really aware of this after when I was pregnant, like with my first, but with my second I was more aware of this because I've experienced it before. But when it was happening to me, I was lost. I had no idea, why all these massive emotions that I was feeling, and I was crying in the hospital. I cried a lot, and even when the therapist came to see me, I just busted out crying, and he stood there. He was like, okay, it's okay, you can cry. And I just cried, and you are not alone, and this is not forever. There is help there. For me, I did drink medication for it, Oh yes, so I said I was gonna talk about how I came out of it. Yeah. So with my second, she's 10 months old now, going to 11, and I feel like maybe I started getting better from around 3 months after I had my second, and I think one of the things was I found an outlet. So I'm on Instagram. If you're from my Instagram, okay, you know me. But if you're not from my Instagram, I found an outlet in Instagram because one, I didn't really want to go back to having walking. All right, I didn't want to go out to work and leave my child with somebody else. I wanted to take care of my children myself, and that left me quite isolated. So and then Corona as well left me very isolated, and I was feeling anxiety as well. So I wasn't gonna go out to meet any friend, and being abroad, we don't really have that much friends anyway. So I was quite I was inside a lot. But once I decided to go for Instagram and kind of focus and see if I can build something for myself, I made a lot of friends there, and I also went towards fitness. So fitness have been told that I've had a lot. Oh, fitness helps with depression. It can help you feel better. I heard about it even when I was dealing with this issue with my first baby. But honestly, it's harder for you to do something when you are in the middle of depression, because it's kind of like your vision is kind of blurred. You cannot really see out of it. So no matter how good things you're telling me at that time, it is blocked. It is blocked. I cannot see it positively whatsoever, right? So that's me. So I know, and I've had mentally in my brain that exercise is good and exercise can help with depression, but I never really took it serious. But with my Instagram, I did a poll and I asked, oh, would you like me to record me losing all this weight? Because I gained weight, which is normal. And yeah, it was like 100%, like, yeah, do it, let's see. And I just took it. Okay, this is just going to be my personal journey and I'm gonna record it. And it's not so much that I lost weight, it's so much how I feel after every workout. Like, I'll start preaching here and whatnot, but literally exercising makes me feel so much better. And I am pretty sure that if I start exercising, I will start feeling rubbish again. Okay, so exercising is one of the things that really helped me. And when I was doing the exercise normally every day, I normally took 1 day off. Now I kind of take like 2 days off or 3 days off. But then I would normally do exercise every day, take the 1 day off. It wasn't anything like drastic. It wasn't like I was in the gym or anything. No, home workout. I would do my jumping jacks. Yeah, I can't really list all of it here, but just basic exercise you can do. I would do it in the room and then gradually came downstairs because anyway, yeah. So yes. So exercising really helped, and then eventually I was able to stop talking to my therapist, because I had my therapist, like I said, from when I was pregnant to after I had my baby. But the thing is, it was quite helpful to talk. It's very good to talk to somebody. It was helpful to talk to her, but it was kind of becoming a cycle for me, because, well, I'll talk to her and then the next day it's exactly the same. I'll talk to her and then it's exactly the same. Do you get what I mean? So I was like, okay, so you have told me everything I need to know. I have no other questions for you. Why am I still feeling this way? Do you get what I mean? And she would tell me, this is why you're feeling this way. You know, you had a baby, oh, this one happened, because I did face some, hard things in my life. So all of that contributed. So I had all this information about why I'm feeling how I'm feeling, all right? But the question is, so how do I deal with this issue? So yeah, exercising is definitely the big thing that really helped me, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. It's very good to exercise. Sometimes you might do it confidence, which is one of mine. Confidence. I know a lot of moms could say, they deal with confidence issue, but a lot of moms as well, they don't deal with it. But for me, I deal with confidence issue, and I felt like after I exercise, I feel really good, and it boosted my confidence. So yeah, if you want to try out exercise, I'm a personal trainer. We can work together for sure. Yeah, connect with me on Instagram, or send me an email. My details will be in the comment section. And yeah, if you want to talk to somebody that have gone through depression, anxiety, I'm here for you. And also, it is very, very important that you connect with a doctor, a GP, a health visitor, and get the help you need. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel your best. You deserve it 100%. It doesn't really matter what people say, because at the end of the day, they're always gonna say something. It's all about you. It's all about you feeling your best. It's all about you getting the help you need so you can better take care of your child, which is very, very important to you, I know. So please never be ashamed to talk about how you're feeling. Never be ashamed to talk about how you're feeling. Yeah, so thank you so much for listening. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. You can email me if you want to send it privately. If you have any video suggestions that you would like me to make, please leave it in the comments, and I'll add it to my list. I love talking, even though I'm introvert, but you will not believe me. When I say I'm introvert, a lot of people are like, Eva, you're lying. I'm introverted, okay? I just like talking on camera. Yeah, if you have any video suggestion, please let me know, okay? And I will definitely be making it soon. Yes, and please subscribe. I bring new video every week, at least one, sometimes two, if my children will will allow me to do it. But yeah, and I hope to see you again. Please like, share with share it in your social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Just share. I feel like this is an important topic that is not spoken about enough, and I feel like maybe the more people speak about this, the more moms will feel more comfortable to speak about it as well. So please share so more moms should know about this. There is nothing wrong with us. We have done nothing wrong by bringing a beautiful baby into the world. So what happens to us in that process, it is not our fault. It is a medical issue that with the right help we get better. Okay, thank you so much for watching. You are a queen, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are powerful, and you have done a fantastic job to bring a baby into this world. So your body is precious, your body is powerful, and you are well appreciated. Yeah, I'm sending you love, sending you good vibes, positive energy. You are blessed. Okay, I'm here for you. Alright, queens, bye, and speak to you in my next video.